the DXY, and we have had some nice moves in the past couple of weeks. We can see that now we've been going down, and the candles are very large. As you can see, this candle is very large. Also, this candle, as you can, is also a very nice move. Let's understand where we are now and see where we'll be going next, most likely. If you look at the market structure, you will see that we are still very much bullish on the daily time frame. We have this breakout structure here, and then also have this breakout structure here. So yeah, obviously we are still in the bullish market based on the daily time frame structure. But I might forget the fact that we're moving down for the past couple of weeks, past 4 weeks or so. If this is the impulsive phase of this move, we had the new highs from the higher low to the higher high, then we have to treat this as our pullback phase. And after a pullback phase, what do we expect? We expect a continuation. This is typical market structure. We get a pullback phase, we get an expansion phase, retracement, which is the pullback, and then we have a continuation phase. If you understand, this was what happened here. We had the initial expansion, we had the short pullback here, and then we subsequently had the continuation. Now we have the pullback, and we'll be expecting the continuation to start. But how do we know that the continuation is ready to go on? Because if you look at the fundamentals currently, you'll see that the DXY is not really in a good place. So we might not even bounce from the level that we are currently looking at. Interest rates may not be increased or in the next meeting in the coming months. So because inflation is moderately slow to lower, and so far as this level here, this higher low is respected, we can expect to see a new high from somewhere around these levels, targeting maybe this liquidity here, which is previous high, and then maybe subsequently this liquidity here, and then we get to this price zone before we see some meaningful bearish market coming in. So how do we know when the continuation is about to start, and what do we expect in this coming week? Well, if you look at the last weekly candle, you can see that it's a very massive bearish candle here, and there is not really much of anything suggesting that we may be reversing at this point. Other than the fact that we know that we have taken this liquidity here, and then we have tapped into this entire buy before the sale, which is the other block that could give us this higher high, and also you have this high fair value gap. Yeah, also we have also tapped into it. So we look at it, we are in a good zone, in a very nice area of value. We have taken a liquidity, we are in a demand zone, also in a we have another block and fair value gap. So price may just start moving upward from this level. But from what we have right now, we cannot say such. We have to wait for some kind of confirmation to start forming before we know what will happen. Moving on to the daily time frame, currently we are in a bearish 4 hours trend. We have this market structure here and then subsequently this market structure here. And so it will not be surprising if we see price move up and then go down back. It won't be really surprising thing to see something like this form in continuation of the bearish trend. But we have to watch what this liquidity and this fair value gap gives us. As you can see, the last 2 trading days, we have seen some form of transaction coming on in this bearish market. You can see that we have this massive week sign of buyers coming in. Then subsequently following, there was also this massive week here, which also forms that buyers will be coming to the market, and then we might also see at least, even if not a continuation of the overall bullish trend, we might just see short form of rally to the upside and then eventually to the downside. So for me, what I would like to see, knowing that okay, yeah, this daily bullish trend is still intact and ready to move, is I would like to see some form of a move to the upside, and then one more tap taking out this liquidity here, and then a break, and then maybe on the retracement we can look for opportunities to take price to the upside. Or I might like to see a lot of consolidation around this price level, a lot of back and forth movement. Then we see price go up, try to come down a little bit, go up a little bit, and then based on the kind of condition we see, okay, see that this level is now at like a baseline, and the formula comes some kind of support here, and then we might actually see price move up from here. I like the fact that we already start seeing some form of reaction already, so just have to wait for some kind of consolidation or a break of structure to confirm that the daily time frame is ready to start going up. I would like to see that with the daily factor turning bullish. As you can see from this high to this low, the daily factor is still very much bearish, and we just have to wait for the factor to turn bullish and then begin to see price going up. But based on the reaction we have in the last couple of days, the last 3 days after this massive bearish move. We might likely see some form of a bullish move in the market this coming week. Most likely, maybe try to close some of this imbalance here. I really don't know how far we'll go. And being that is the last week of August, we may not see a lot of move. We may not see a lot of move. This is the 4 hours time frame, by the way. We may not see a lot of move coming in. So this week is just a week of observing and knowing what exactly, what the price wants to do. But we are currently situated in a very good price level where we have a fair value gap after taking a liquidity in a bullish structure, and we're already in discount prices. So at this point, it makes sense if you are an aggressive trader to just start going to the market, maybe a position like this, targeting new highs, which will give you 1 to 2, 1 to 2.5. That also maybe lower your risks for more risk to reward. But ideally, if you want to enter from this point, you have to keep your surplus right below the previous higher low, not to be on the safe side. But if you are not an aggressive trader, you might want to wait for price to give you some kind of signal that okay, this bullish trend is still in shape and you might likely continue from there. Otherwise, you just hold on to see what price will do. And this week you might see some points to the upside, but ultimately we'll have to see more consolidation or a clear break of structure of this high, or maybe new higher highs that form higher lower highs that forms here, and then from there know what price wants to do. This is for the DXY. The next I would like to look at the euro. On the euro, we also in a clear bearish market from this high to this high, also very much bearish. We broke here, then we broke here, give ourselves an higher lower high, and then maybe another lower low after this high. This is a lower high, and then we also have this low, and then this is a lower low. So currently we are moving more to the downside, and this is just like the pullback after the expansion phase, and we might likely get another continuation from this level. So maybe these price levels. But again, we don't really know what's going to happen here. We have seen that we are taking out this liquidity from this previous high, which is good. And we're also in this weekly order block, which is the buy before the sell. After that, this entire leg give us a new lower low. So we are in the extreme of that. We are in the extreme, and then there's no doubt that we're in a good place to start seeing some bearish structure coming, as confirmed by the most recent, today's trading candle. We can see that we're already showing signs of rejection coming in, but we don't really know what's going to happen so far. Just have to wait. Again, if you're an aggressive trader, you can just maybe go in here, and then stop loss will be above the previous high. Then we take profits, maybe some pips below the previous low. We give you maybe 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. But you will not be sure, because like I said, fundamentally the DXY is not really in a good place in the month of August, and we'll watch and see what price wants to do here. And then from there we'll not know what is the next likely position. But going on to this new week, I expect price to maybe pull back a little bit, just a little bit, and then maybe go back up. Something like this. If this happens, I'll be very happy, because I would like to see a break of this low that will be formed this week. And then when the break occurs on the pullback, then that would be a nice place to get in, and then try to see how you can ride the entire phase of the continuation down to these price levels.